So
And the lands of the south is Gloria Mendoza's, and on the north of the church is the pueblo.
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the pueblo at all?
Yeah, I got that name. It's not Picarish, it's, I got it in
Is
some...
it Quemado?
No,
or no?
Quemado, no, it's,
There's a Quemado down in
it's,
Ciénaga.
it's with a P, it's not Picarish, it's, P. See, I got that in the old abstract, the name of that one. But it used to be that this side was part of Camino Real, then they coming back in this way. The penitentes would be going this way to San Antonio. And this actually, Camino Real, and then on this side was named La Majada. And then you would pass through the camel tracks. That was my uncle Jose Mora's ranch. And that one, then that one goes straight down to La Majada. That's the old road where they would be coming up. So that'd be La Majada Road. And come into my uncle's ranch and then into our field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about why they created the church at San Antonio, or that
Yeah, the church, I think, over here in Los Palacios, where San Antonio was before, they were doing a lot of damage, and then people started leaving, so they took it down to Cieneguilla, and then Uncle Jose Mora was the one who took charge of him after that.
So you're saying that San Antonio was by Los Palacios, which is right across from the airport? You know, where they're doing the sand and gravel?
Right.
there to the east of the sewer plant.
Right.
I didn't know that there was a San Antonio there, is that right?
Yeah, it had all de Los Palacios.
And there
yeah.
must have been quite a few.
And see, that was on, my dad owned that one, my grandfather owned the property, which is Colony. That was my grandfather's land down there.
Okay.
See, he owned a lot of land, my grandfather. And it would go all the way up to the racetrack, that property there. And then you remember, I don't know if you guys remember Lala Roque. Miss Roque, she had that White House right by the airport.
Oh.
Don't remember Miss Roque?
I don't remember the house.
Yeah,
but
she was married to an old cowboy. He had a permit up here in the Buckman. Very nice people. Had a pair of spurs. Oh, I tried buying those spurs off of him for years and years. Lefty and righty. Think he gave them to the museum. Miss Roque did anyway. She was on a wheelchair, and boy, she was a very nice lady. Very nice. She owned that right by the junkyard, right across where that White House is. That was her house, and she owned all the way up to the racetrack and that area. I used to take care of her land for her. Lala Roque, yeah.
What did you mean by the Buckman? Could you talk about the Buckman?
The Buckman area, the whole Buckman. Well, that was that belonged to the permitters, which raised like, let's say 20, 30 people in Nambe, let's say, or Pojoaque, or they would have like 10 cows for each permitter. Cieneguilla, Ciénaga, La Bajada, they would all have their cows. And every October they'd all get together. Instead of taking their cattle to market, they would come down and buy them right there in the corral. And then that was what they call the permitters, no?
How did they keep track of which calves belong to what cows?
Everybody's got their own brand. And then Herman Montoya was one of the, what do they call that? He was the main man there at the headquarters, you know. So he would be in the corral, he and probably Mike, and then the rest of us would be gathering cows, and they'd be branding. They knew which brand to put on each cow or calf and like that. But yeah, a lot of permitters. But there's I think it's 1 million acres. I think it was which that one could have been belonged to the people instead of the forest. And I would have had more information on that one, but when my grandma passed away, she had the chest full of all the papers from Shenegia, the Buckman, everything. And my aunts went and burned all the papers. And that's where we kind of lost our story and our history. And all this that I'm saying, his dad used to talk to me, you know, in the afternoons we sit in the porch, whatever, this and this and that. He'd tell me the name, he'd tell me everything, you know, and that's why I know a little bit about it.
So when you guys used to irrigate, what kind of crops did you raise here in
It was
Agua Fria?
corn and pinto beans in Agua Fria. Where we lived there, that property used to belong to Homicindo Gonzalez, and they'd farm all. They'd start from Los Palacios, helping each other. They'd plow one field, the next one, till they get all the way up past the school. And then October, like now, they'd open all the fields, all the cows, horses, donkeys, everything loose. They'd share. But the Sequia Madre continues all the way behind Laragoide School, because my Grandpa Oriosla used to farm right behind the deaf school. Mm-hmm. That was his. So that Sequia continues all the way up to. And then there's Cerro Mojino, Las Coronices, Bajada, no, El Picacho. Some of those mountains.
The end one is Tatia Peak.
La Tetia Peak.
Yeah.
You got Cerro Montoso.
Cerro Montoso, Cerro Colorado.
El Picacho is, did you ever hear of a volcano? There was an opening up there by El Picacho.
There's an opening, and then there was also there in the Buckman, El Ojito de la Soda, que le gave mi daddy, sweet water. That one, I haven't been up there in a long time. Y luego está la Mesa de los Chinos. And then there's the Rio Grande where they used to put in the railroad ties. From La Baja, there was a swing that crossed all the way the Rio Grande there. And they put all those railroad ties to the train down on the bottom. And the one who might have a little bit of history, I don't know if he's still alive, but be Eloy Montoya. He was from La Baja, born and raised there, and his dad also. And then Cochiti Pueblo and so on and so on. Yeah. Let me see what else.
So the train
There was a train down on the
through La
bottom.
Bajada?
It passed through where Cochiti Lake now is. There's where the train used to pick up the railroad ties.
It was a narrow gauge.
Narrow
Yeah,
gauge,
yeah.
narrow
But I
gauge,
know
yeah,
that
very
it
narrow
went,
gauge,
uh,
yeah.
And then would hook up at the
Yeah.
Buckman station, right, at Ottawa Crossing.
Yeah, and then there, where White Rock is, what is La Titi, no, not the Titialos, can't think of that name over here. Pero that one, they tried pumping out a lot of water at one time. I think there's still some of the old stuff left there that they couldn't take. But yeah, that was what they call La Vera Cochiti, which goes all the way up, then back down to the lake.
And like your grandpa Hilario, what kinds of things did he raise in Agua Fria?
He was in Shenegia, he was
in
cattle,
Okay.
run sheep and cattle.
Do you have any crops? Or?
In Agua Fria, when we came down to Agua Fria, beans, corn.
Did you remember like helping him when you were small? or?
No, mainly Grandpa passed away, and the one that I helped more was Uncle Jose Mora with the goats up on the este. I remember lying down there by the end of the small cliffs, what we call El Cañon, and we'd see the airplanes fly overhead. No? It was like amazing.
And you were talking about your great grandfather.
Martin Mora,
Okay, and so that's who or your dad was named after.
named after me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what was his wife's name? Do you remember or?
Mama Trinidad, Trinidad Mora.
Oh, okay.
She was Romero
Oh,
and
Romero.
Trinidad and Mora.
Like Romero from
La
La
Cienega.
Cienega.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like probably related
Yeah.
to Ray Romero.
And she was 100. She was 99, 10 months when she passed away.
Uh-huh.
And she still smoked Boulder.
Ah.
Pouch
The
in
little
there.
pouches.
Yeah. And they lived in Cienega. Yeah.
Did your mom and dad go to school?
Dad went to school here, I believe, at the old school where the Cerevacas. There was an old school.
Okay.
And I remember him telling me that each one had to take a log and pile it up there, so keep the fire going during the winter time. And they would bring him on buckboard, horse
Wow.
buckboard, yeah.
And there was a tanque, I guess, at one time.
Who?
A tanque right there
Yeah,
by
there
Lopez.
was the big tank. That's they used to use that one for skating in the winter.
No.
But that one was a big tank there that would feed water from towards down the bottom and across our fields up towards the. Remember where the old airport was?
Yes.
Yeah, towards that. Poquito más
Valdez
para
Park.
Yeah.
Valdez Park,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where the old.
Yeah.
Still.
In fact, that's where Smokey the Bear. You know, when they flew him out of New Mexico from right there. You know, Hopalong Cassidy was the one that was.
And on my great grandfather Martin Mora, there was a bear taking over the crops, and they all decided to follow him. But when they met up with him, they all left my grandfather there, and the bear got him.
Wow.
Yeah, he was killed by the bear.
Wow.
Your grandfather.
Great grandfather.
Great grandfather.
Great grandfather Martin. Yeah.
Yeah. What year was that?
Hard to say. That is for 1915. I still got my grandfather's birth certificate. Martin Mora, I don't know,
Yeah. Wait, in the 1800s.
the
then.
1800s. But I got some pictures. You're welcome to
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, we'd like to do that.
use them.
Toby, did you have a water association? How did you get your water from what's the Cruzalta down? Apparently, it's too deep to.
Yeah, from the Cruzalta would come to the Santa Fe River to this, and then from there, going to the little ditches.
Personal water, did you have?
Oh, personal water?
Yeah.
No, we haul water from Filimon Romero
You had to
for
haul
about
water.
12 years.
Because, yeah, it was too deep to.
And Porejito Filimon never charges a penny. He's such a good man. We'd always have a hard time when we go to the meeting and we never get approved. Then finally, we got approved and we ran the water from the Olguins, I think it was the Olguin, that little white house right
Yes,
before,
yes.
and ran it down to the house. Then so we put in a bathroom and we had the outhouse.
What year was that?
Híjole, I was still small, so it was about 7 or 8 a year.
It'd be about 1958, 59.
But there I guess, yeah. Brothers and sisters were older now, yeah. But it took us 12 years to get the water from the association.
Running water. Wow.
Tell us about the names of your brothers and sisters, and maybe like in order of how old they
okay,
are.
I've got my older sister is Betty, then I got Viola, then I got Bertha, then my brother George, my brother Robert, myself, Geraldine, then Michael, and then Marie. We're 9 now in the family.
Wow, that's pretty. Wait, so your oldest sister, when was she born?
She's 70, 72, 73, I think, something like that, not sure.
Yeah.
I know her birthday's in April, because I call her in April all the time. But